What's up guys, Jeff here, and today is One Take Sunday. This is where we do a tour of the store. Sometimes we start in the back, sometimes we start in the front, but usually we do it in one take fashion. So if we make a mistake, we lives with it. So there's been a lot of things that have happened back here at the back of the store as of late. We had some power issues back here. We had some faulty wiring due to that bad boy right there. We had some ingenious wiring going on with that exit sign. That has been since addressed. We put in a sub panel. We got a lot more juice to the tanks now. So we should be good. We should be doing all right. Some of the things that were kind of hindering us here should be addressed. And the hope with that is to get these 10-gallon tanks that we have here up on this shelf. Got a failed science experiment there that I need to clean up. One take Sunday, folks. This isn't staged. That looks like a big bottle of urine. So what I want to do is I want to put a bunch of 10-gallon tanks right here. Have the ability to put a number of different fish into those tanks individually and be able to treat them as needed. There are a lot of empty tanks at the moment. We had a bunch of special orders that came in and have gone out, and now we have a little bit of a mess that we need to take care of. Still battling taking down the freshwater section here. I'm not 100% sold on doing that yet, but we're still kicking around that idea. And part of our new electrical is having the ability to do some different things. So these lights were originally wired to a box that was right there, sitting directly over the water. Obviously that's not a good idea. So we moved that up, and that is now supplying power. Well, actually not now, will be supplied through that box. We're probably eventually going to be doing a blower like we have on most of our systems that run sponge filters for phytoplankton and pods, and also chaeto, because we do grow clean chaeto. This science experiment over here that I referenced as a pee bottle, we had some algae in there and that has died, so we're gonna have to fix that up a little bit. But yeah, so it's pretty good to have the electrical figured out. We did ground fault indicators on everything. This is a very expensive power strip that I bought through Home Depot. I kind of like it. It's better than what originally I was thinking, which I'm going to end up using that for the heater section of the quarantine tanks, which eventually is what that will look like. But here, that power strip, and just putting a little bit of a controller on there. That's the My Touch, I think. It's actually pretty useful. I've used it on a couple different things here at the store. And as far as for folks looking for a little bit of automation with your lights, turning things off and on, works pretty good. And with these lights, these nice beautiful black boxes, you have the ability to daisy chain them. So I'm essentially running two lights all from that one controller there. So that's pretty good. I was hoping to put this heater up a little bit higher, and unfortunately my thermometer or temperature probe isn't long enough, so we had to stick with it right there. And that's just a little bit of Velcro from the previous power strip. So I'd like to do a couple things here. One, I want to drop the lights down because with my blues on and just a little bit of the whites, I'm only sitting at about 200 par, and I like to be a little bit higher. So we're going to end up dropping these lights down. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is take a little chain here, extend this out. I'll probably have that connection put to there, have the chain, drop this down probably a good 6 inches, do the same over there. And then eventually what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to connect them from post to post. So I'm not gonna be able to do this with a camera, but I'm gonna eventually pull both these in so they're kind of angled right down the middle and have them, you know, linear to each other. Although I kind of dig the little angle thing that they're kind of doing on their own. But I'd like to drop this down, clean up that wiring, pull them into the center so I can, you know, my middle of my rack be the highest par, and then lighter par on the edges. And then we're going to do that here. We're also going to do that on this one. And then we will do that here as well. This is a pretty simple frag system, and really for me what this is going to be is two different things. It's going to be eventually the online portion of Corals Unlimited sales, so we can have stuff in the tanks that isn't going to be bought out from somebody, you know, online or vice versa here in the store. So we can have some different stuff back here, then offer that on the website. It's also going to be a place where I can just have some craziness going on, because you know, it's not great to have, whoop, he's a squirter, folks. It's not great to have, you know, a giant toadstool that's all just absolutely cut up sitting in the front of the store. Even though that, you know, I'm not really that worried about image when it comes to stuff like that, because aquaculture is a part of this and it's good to talk about it and teach it. I just want to make sure, you know, not everything, you know, rubber bands and toothpicks and all that stuff is just hanging out all over the store. So yeah, that is the back room. And you know, I wasn't even really going to do this today, because I actually was going to talk about one thing real quick, but here we are 7 minutes into the video. Yeah, so that's the drama that has been going on with the back. The middle room, oh boy, it looks like my bedroom when I was a kid. So most of you know that this coming Saturday here at Corals Unlimited, we're going to be doing a frag swap. Now, the frag swap is going to be open to the public. We're going to open up our doors normally like we do every Saturday. We'll be open 11 to 7. But we're going to have some local folks, some not so local folks here setting up tables and selling corals. And that is all for the hobby of reef keeping. Now, I have been asked, Jeff, why oh why would you allow other people sell corals in your store, which you pay a truckload of money to sell corals, and then you're letting other people sell corals? Well, for me, you know, the growth of the hobby, the promotion of the hobby is the reason why I opened the store, and it's important to me to build the hobby up in the state of Maine, and that's what I aim to do. And you know, even if I'm putting things on the back burner for me, you know, from a financial standpoint, from a personal standpoint, I'm sure it will pay dividends, and I'm sure it's going to do great things for the hobby here in Maine. Now, it's Sunday night. We typically close a little bit early on Sunday nights, and you know, we're closed up right now. Some of the lights are off, some of the lights are dimming, even though it's earlier. I usually close about 5 p.m. on Sundays. We stayed open a little bit later tonight because we had a customer in here and he was talking shop, and you know, but that's the great thing about being the owner of a store and not being a part of a huge corporation and being an employee. And I just need to get out of here. I'm done. You know, we're talking reef tanks, and if it goes a little bit longer, it goes a little bit longer. The water box definitely deserves a little bit of an update. It's probably a little bit more bare than you guys have seen it in the past. We have sold some corals. The big stuff that I've sold, I don't remember putting an Asnarius snail in here. That's crazy. We did sell the Dragon Soul Favia, which was a dream coral, but somebody was willing to, you know, take that and put it in their tank, and they wanted it, so I sold it. And I didn't want to be that type of fish store that is like, this isn't for sale, because that used to irk me a little bit when I was a hobbyist. As far as I'm concerned, everything is for sale. You just have to pay for my attachment. We also had a trachea that was here, a green one, which had a bonus orange mushroom on it. So that person got an awesome deal. Then we had a piece of Jedi Mind Trick Monipora that was right there, which we sold that. This guy's beast mode right there. We got one in the back as well, which is looking pretty good. But yeah, that one was a good sized chunk. Somebody picked that up. We sold that Trachea, we sold the Dragon Soul. So if this looks a little different, that's why. Some new additions to the tank. We did recently just add this monstrous red mushroom. A customer brought this in. He usually brings in a mushroom every time he comes in. I give him a little bit of a price break on some stuff. He said it was big, and I'll show you guys here in a minute my mushroom bin. And I was like, maybe that's a little bit too big to put in the mushroom bin. I'm glad I didn't, because it would have covered everything. That thing is literally, I don't know, close to 5 inches across. And I also found one of the orange metallic mushrooms this past week in the bin that was just floating around, so we grabbed that. The back rack's looking a little picked over, so we're gonna spice it up here with the water box here pretty soon. I'll get some new stuff going, and I still, to this day, do not have a skimmer going, no skimmer. And I tested my nitrates the other day, and my nitrates are at 5. Kind of blown away by that. So that's the beauty of an established reef tank. Once it's established, you know, the maintenance requirements go down big time. You know that this is kind of the 2.0 version of the water box. It's the dirtier version of the water box. But as far as a reef goes, it's way better than what it was at the house. The Red Sea. The Red Sea is running. It's a work in progress. We got some aquaculture going on in there, but we also working on the scape a little bit. We got some Gorgonians going. That's a beast mode Gorgonian right there. This one's very happy. That one is very sad, but you know, to each their own. But we're trying to figure out, you know, what we're going to do for corals here. I really feel like there needs to be like this really big piece on this side, so you get kind of like a little swish. I think that'll be very pleasing to the eye if we can get something kind of tall, kind of a little bit of this going on, a little swish action, sprinkle some corals in there. But this tank, outside of being, you know, a little dirty a little too often, is coming right along. Not quite water box level yet, but it's getting there. And for, you know, only being up for a couple of months of being this far along, it's pretty good. It's got some good copa pod, sorry for you Grammarly folks out there. The copepod population doing pretty good. You know, as far as that tank's been up for almost 3 years now. This one's only been up for a couple months, and I bet even if we could just find the coral that we wanted to put in here, it'd probably look every bit as good as the water box does right now. Store closing up. We got freshwater fish, a lot of the same things that we've had in here for a while. Got an algae bloom now, so the bacteria bloom turned into an algae bloom, but the rummy nose fish don't care. They're loving it. We got some red jewel cichlids beating up on each other. Got some cherry barbs. We always have cherry barbs going on. Some of these males are really starting to throw some color, so that's pretty cool. What else we got down here? We got some coolie loaches out and about, feeding up. Some corridors. Corridor. This tank's looking pretty good. This plant is completely nuked out, but we do have, you know, white roots, so that's always a good thing. You're always going to have a little bit of die off anytime you move plants around and then kind of have it reseed. This tank, Mr. Royal has been ripping it up. He keeps moving the plants around, doing what he wants to do. But we do have the baby Crebensis in here, getting bigger. They made it. The parents didn't eat them. And then we got Molly Town over here. Bunch of mollies. Freshwater fish section. We try to keep it pretty stocked up. Did some experimenting this week with different types of dips and what works for fish. And I would say overwhelmingly was a success, although I did lose my nerve a couple times. Basically what I was doing was a hydrogen peroxide bath for most of the fish that came in this week, and I did lose my nerve a few times. I'm going to tell you right now, do not use hydrogen peroxide bath even at half dose on Pictus catfish, because that's just a bad deal. They made it. I lost one. They made it though. Clownfish Town. Tanks are a little bit dirty. It's Sunday. I usually let things go a little bit so I can clean it up real good when I come in on Tuesday. But we got a bunch of clownfish going. We still got some snowstorms there. We got what's that black lightning, some mocha gladiators. We got the baby nano ocellaris. What do we got down there? Wide bars again, lightning. We got some Darwins over here chilling out. We got a photon. The photon are probably my favorite. They get really dark and then they have beautiful orange in them. Some black storms going on there. Yashigobi. Yashigobis are awesome. We got a absolute juggernaut of neon dottyback, the domino clownfish. Then we got the snow, or I'm sorry, just the flurries. Corals, water's moving pretty good. I've been doing a lot of fragging lately, and I know I don't have a blue filter on, so you know it's late in the video. Most of those people that are going to complain about it have already left. But we've been doing a lot of fragging here at the store and trying to gear up, you know, for winter and make sure that we have a good amount of coral, good amount of cultured coral. Also, you know, trying to bring in new stuff whenever we can. Trachees are looking great. The elegance that we got in this week is getting bigger and bigger, and I need to keep moving corals because I don't want any battling going on. But things are looking good. Things are looking good. The mushroom basket that we talked about, that mushroom would have just covered the whole thing. That wouldn't have worked out very well. But a lot of coral going on. We got a lot of coral in the $25 bin as well. I've been scrubbing these tanks, scrub, and they still get dirty. So it is what it is. But folks, that is going to do it for today's One Take Sunday. Didn't even plan on doing this. This was just kind of like all right, let's do it. We're 18 minutes into it. But yeah, I wanted to share with you guys really the whole idea behind this was to talk to you guys about the Frag Swap. The Frag Swap will be happening here this Saturday, November 13th. We will be open to the public. You don't have to bring corals, you can bring cash. I'm sure most of the guys here that are going to be selling and trading corals are going to be just fine with cash. But we will be open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if you want to stop by and check things out, just take a look. We'll be here. And if you're in the New England area, there's going to be people coming from all over. So it's going to be a good time. So that's going to do it for today. If you guys are new to the channel, here, Corals Unlimited's YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified every time that we upload a new video. Peace.